My name is Roberto Rosa from Massachusetts, and I have ABS. 6 years ago, I started having concerning symptoms, and after 4 years of brain scans, EEGs, and other tests, which were all normal, I finally found a doctor who told me what was wrong with me. ABS has taken away my freedom, my enjoyment of meals, and has negatively affected my everyday life. I'm no longer able to simply get in my car and drive to meet friends and do things I enjoy doing without the worry I'll get a flare. I want more people, especially doctors and nurses in hospitals, to know about ABS, to be familiar with this underdiagnosed but real condition.
My name is Michelle Giannato, Vice President, Patient Advocate for the nonprofit Auto-Brewery Syndrome Information and Research. My late husband, Donato Giannato, passed away of secondary complications from this medical condition. I volunteer with the nonprofit to help those who suspect or confirm that they have this medical condition and their families. We also provide information to medical providers across the globe on how to test and treat this medical condition.
Hello, my name is Martin Stohr. I'm a gastroenterologist practicing in close to Munich in southern Germany, and I'm the past president of the German Society of Neurogastroenterology and Motility. Today, I would like to talk a little bit about the auto-brewery syndrome, the treatment of this disease. The disease ABS is in close relation to SIBO or SIFO, and the treatment is in close relation to that as well. So what we need to diagnose the condition, which is a little bit complicated since there's no standard testing. But if we are aware about the disease and if we are aware about the causing bugs, we use antimicrobial treatments, either targeting bacteria or targeting the fungi to get rid of the bacteria in the small intestine. And we try to prevent the condition from coming back. And that can be done by changing the diet, changing the lifestyle, or changing an underlying condition.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Mark Mangiardo. My body makes alcohol. 15 years ago, I was a teacher, a coach, a husband, and a father, living a normal life. Then something started happening that no one could explain. I was being accused of drinking alcohol when I hadn't had a single drink. Eventually, I was arrested and charged with 2 DWIs without drinking alcohol. What doctors later discovered is that I have a rare medical condition called auto-brewery syndrome. It's a disorder where the body actually produces alcohol inside the gut through fermentation. So my body was literally making alcohol on its own. But by the time we figured it out, the damage had already been done. I lost my career in education after 15 years. I lost my home. My family and I were forced to live long distance for 3 years while I tried to rebuild my life and career. I'm sharing my story to raise awareness because this condition is real. It's misunderstood, and it can destroy lives before anyone realizes what's actually happening. Thank you as always for following my story. Please remember to go to autobrewery.org for more information on auto-brewery syndrome. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Hi, I'm Janine Kahn. My fiance, Ricky, passed away from complications of auto-brewery syndrome. He had the condition for several years, and I was his caregiver. We tried to get him in front of as many doctors as we could. There's just too many to even name, and he was never believed. They always accused him of being a closeted alcoholic, and I was enabling him. In 2023, he ended up in the hospital in October, at the end of October, for his gallbladder, and he ended up getting worse while under doctor's care. He eventually passed away in the hospital from auto-brewery syndrome. And the day that he died, the doctor finally admitted to us that his body was overrun with bacteria, and they didn't know why, and they couldn't understand why.
Hello, my name is Forrest Bainey, and I was diagnosed with auto-brewery syndrome. In 2016, I was involved in a car accident in which I broke the other driver's leg. It wasn't until afterwards at the hospital that I learned that my BAC was 0.32. Months and many medical tests later, I was ultimately diagnosed as having auto-brewery syndrome. Nevertheless, an Ohio court found that that was not enough to reduce criminal liability in my accident. As a result, I served 2 years in prison. Today, I have been symptom and flare-free for 2 years, and am currently a law student.
My name is Cassandra Seams. I live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I have auto-brewery syndrome. I've been arrested for 2 DUIs. One I'm currently still fighting in Okeechobee County, and I did not drink. I lost my job because of this. I lost my house that I had, my self-pay insurance, and my independence. I was diagnosed March 19th, 2025, and the following day I lost my job. And it has made my life incredibly difficult because now I can't drive. And now that I have a criminal record and the stigmas of auto-brewery syndrome, it made it incredibly difficult for me to be able to find employment.
Hello, I'm Barbara Cordell. I'm the president of the Auto-Brewery Syndrome Advocacy nonprofit organization. I first found out about auto-brewery syndrome in 2010 when my husband was diagnosed. He'd had bizarre symptoms for over 6 years, and we sought out consults from doctors of all kinds, and they could find nothing wrong with him. Finally, one day when he was having symptoms, I took him to the emergency room and found out that his blood alcohol level was 3 times the legal limit, even though he hadn't been drinking. So that's when I began to research about auto-brewery syndrome. We were very fortunate to find a doctor who would listen to us and learn, but it was still difficult to figure out treatments. So I started this nonprofit in order to help people find resources and not have to go through what Joe and I went through. Thank you.
To make a donation or learn more, go to www.autobrewery.org.